So a lot of people they just can't dream. And what we do then is we go back, we just kind of get them into a relaxed state. And then I ask them, what's the first symbol that comes to you? And it kind of just, it's working with the imagination. Where you want to be is you want to be the person who is doing the work. You don't want to be the observer of your life anymore. So stepping them through their fears so that they can fulfill their purpose. But their purpose becomes very clear. It's just then because it matches when you say, this is who you are.
Right.
Oh, yes. Yes, it feels right. And
Yeah.
then it's just a matter of, okay, now let's overcome those fears.
I'm Vicki. And I'm Dawna. And it's your time.
Hi, everyone. I am Vicki from It's Your Time, and my lovely co-host Dawna is here with me.
Hi,
And
everyone. And
and we have Adrienne from the dream thing again. And
Yes, so glad to be back.
it's going to be all about dreams, dreams, and dreams.
that's right. And she is our first returning champion.
Yes.
So, yeah, so that's cool because everyone seems to be, everyone, whether you're woo woo or not, our people's dreams are amping up. So we thought this would be a really good topic. And so we had just a couple questions for Adrienne, just as mostly what people are saying is, what not just what do my dreams mean, but what in this time in this world, what does it mean if I dream, something bad, apocalyptic or something like that? Adrienne has noticed that people are dreaming from their own point of view rather than things that are happening to them and that sort of thing. So let's talk about that, if you
Yeah,
would.
yeah. So that's one of the main things that I've noticed is through because I think we are moving into an upgrade. um, and so one of the things is when people are entering into their dreams, they are like the main character in their dream. They're the focal point of their dream. So they are the ones moving, they're the ones doing the work or resisting. They're seeing as themselves, they're moving through the dream, which is really cool because where you want to be is you want to be the person who is doing the work. You don't want to be the observer of your life anymore, the one who's standing on the outside and just looking at your life passing and all the things that need to be done or the work that needs to be done that you want to be the one who's participating in that work. So that's been really cool to see. I think that and when you're the first person, when you're the main character of your dream, what it's often focusing on is your gifts and how you're using your gifts um, for other people, for the betterment of those around you. Um, that that is not just growth and healing for yourself, but it's also growth and healing for those around you. Um, or it's like you think that you're doing it for other people, you're really doing it for yourself. And when you're doing it for yourself, you're really doing it for other people because we're all connected. And so the dreams, I think, really show that connection to where you are on this earth plane, what you've needed to work on, what you came here. I'm working with a lot of people right now who are having birth dreams, working it's all going back to birth. So, because a lot of people go, "Oh, no, 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 I've dealt with that. That was just when I was a child. Now I see things differently." No, you're looking at it from an adult perspective. That's not that is a rationalizing mind. Let's go back because what it's saying is you're in a hotel wandering through hotels and all the doors are shut or whatever, it's like let's go back to your reception at birth because that is the core of what needs healing for you to move forward. And it's the thing that is.
And that kind of always confused me as far as, like, what if you don't know how your birth went?
Yeah.
Because most of us have no idea, and there's no one we can ask.
Right. Yeah. Then you go to, well, what are the things, because it'll address what the issues are. So I feel, if you don't remember or you didn't know your parent and you didn't have anybody to talk to about, well, what was it like when you were pregnant with me? Your dream will say things like, I feel uninvited on this earth. And so like you'll be at a hotel and you're not, people are ignoring you, feeling, or you were invited, but you came out too quickly. Oh, were you a cesarean section? It's like things I didn't come through the birth canal. It'll show in symbols that way. So all of those things do have will have a traumatic effect on you. So for instance, my well, before I went through years of healing, I did not acknowledge, as an adult, I rationalized that my mother she was a very sweet woman, lovely, lovely woman, just so generous with people. But when she was pregnant with me, she didn't want a fifth child. She didn't want me. So that does have an effect then. So that'll have that those feelings of not being invited onto this earth plane, not feeling welcome. And
then how do you get over something like that?
Yeah, so that is going in and change. So there are different processes. One that I really like to do is I bring someone back to, like, if there's a symbol in the dream, let's go back into that dream and put yourself back in that dream. Let's walk through it. And I walk them through up until the point that they want to look at a symbol, a certain symbol. Let's bring you to that point. And for instance, you're walking down a hallway. Okay, you see yourself in the hotel, you're walking down the hallway, and someone shuts the door on you. Let's go in, let's just open that door. Tell me what's on the other side. And we walk through the dream so that they can change the outcome of their dream. The more that you work on, I found it really effective, because the more that you work on changing the outcome of the dream when you're feeling stuck or you're having the recurring dream, is to identify the issue and then change the outcome within your dream, because what you're doing is you're changing your subconscious.
Well, and also you're empowering yourself.
Yes.
To be able to move forward.
Yes.
And,
yep.
And
which is all of.
I'm sorry.
No, go right ahead, Dawna.
I was going to say people can do that with, even if it doesn't come through in a dream, if it's something you remember, you can change the outcome in your mind. Yes. And I don't know who it was, said, I guess that's the Mandela effect. You can change the energy from those past things. So if you're doing it with a dream, that's the dream has told you need to work on this, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And another great thing to do, because I do this with people, is if they don't have dreams, because a lot of people, especially who have experienced a lot of early trauma, where it's just hard to dream, because they don't want to address some of those things. It's like, it's been so hard. Life has been so hard. I don't even want to dream, So a lot of people they just can't dream. And what we do then is we go back, we just kind of get them into a relaxed state. And then I ask them, what's the first symbol that comes to you? And it kind of it's working with the imagination, which is the first thing that comes to you is going to be your subconscious. So, and those things, then we step through that symbol. What does the symbol mean? Why is it? Why are you here? And I talk to the symbol, and they answer as the symbol. And even that just changes it just changes the inner work. It addresses that inner work that needs to be done so that they can
Wow.
move into freedom.
So
Um,
it's almost like self-hypnosis in a way,
yeah,
in that you calm them down and then and like a shamanic journey, you
yeah,
calm them down and then you lead them down a path.
Mhm.
yes, yeah. I'd say that there are many ways to do it. I mean, the the biggest thing is to really tap into your subconscious, bring it to the surface so that it can be transformed. Um,
Right.
all of our life experiences, all of the trauma, we don't want to just say it was for nothing and I need to change it. It's all for our transformation. It's all part of our journey.
Mhm.
And it it is what allows us to connect with other people. If we had no issues, if we had no traumas, it always sounds like a wonderful thing to just have a life that was just beautiful and easy.
Yeah,
Could
but
you imagine how unrelatable we'd all be?
It'd be
So
boring too. Yeah.
yeah,
and
boring.
we wouldn't grow. We would just kind
Exactly.
of be, a self-important narcissist.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't be able to connect with anybody.
Hmm.
Right. That's
So
right. Yeah.
yeah, so even seeing all of our traumas, addressing them is not for it's for releasing, but it's more for transformation.
Mm.
So that we can transform inwardly, and that just causes us
Yeah.
to just go higher. So
Definitely.
that's yeah, that's my whole goal in helping people is to help them find their own way, help them find their own freedom, help them see the beauty of who they are, what they came here with, what their purpose is, and how it's all tied in. Our body, our soul, and our spirit is like all tied in, and so a lot of times things get addressed in different ways. Like if we're not feeling it, if we're not able to address it with our heart, um, with that beautiful balance connection, we're going to feel it in our body. Okay, what are you feeling in your body when this came up? Well, I'm feeling this back pain. Okay, let's go to the back pain and address it as though it were an emotion. So speak to it as an emotion so that it can be released and transformed. Um,
Wow. So
so I mean,
you
there's
do
just so many
more.
ways.
You do
Yeah.
more than just dream analysis.
Yeah.
You're teaching
Yeah.
people to
Yeah.
heal themselves and release things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
so
Yeah.
let's
It's
talk
all
about the
working with
new
subconscious. Yeah.
Yeah.
let's
Talk-
talk about the new energy and what
Yes.
that's
Yes.
bringing into our dreams.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about how I know my husband came up with something that he had these thoughts coming in, and he thought he had gotten rid of all that,
Mhm.
and it was making him it was coming back up for him to say no, no, get out, I've done this before, we're
Yes.
clear of this. And
Right.
I Donna went through something kind of similar.
Mhm. I think especially this past couple of months since the beginning of end of the year, it seems like beginning of the year until recently, I felt like there was a shift probably a couple of days ago. But I think that a lot of people have been feeling that. It's like, okay, why is this coming up again? What do I need to look at again? I think that, yeah, I think we are. Did you want to talk about I don't want to get, if you don't want to get too personal, it's like what you were going through, Donna, or you?
Oh, me? Oh, well,
Yeah.
it's things that I know are going to work out,
Mm,
but I have always had anxiety around everything. So when something happens, I can say that, and
mhm,
but I haven't had a dream about this that I know of. It didn't
mhm.
come up in a dream. This is in my life, and I know that things are things are going to work out, but it's always when it gets close, it's like that patience thing. And it's like, okay, so well, what if how about if I did this? Oh, that's not going to
Yeah.
work. How about if we do that? No, that's how about if and all I need to do is just sit back and just say it'll work out or it
I
won't,
trust
and
it.
you just
I
have to,
trust the process.
yeah,
Yeah.
just trust. And because I have looked back and seen in the past where I've been in this same situation and been waiting and waiting. And then now that I look back, it's like, well, just when you needed it, it was there. Well, I think I need it now
Yeah.
and it's not here.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I just have to, yeah. And that doesn't have to do with the dream. The dreams that I have been having mostly are I'm traveling. Not like flying a plane or whatever. Like
Uh-huh.
astral travel, I guess.
Oh, that's so
There's a
cool.
lot of that. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
that. And I don't know if it's my celestial helpers getting me ready to take me away. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah.
For
Well,
that.
I do think that there is part of this shift that we're doing right now that we're in
And
is increasing that connection. That
you know, all the planets are direct right now, so
yeah,
Right.
supposedly nothing is holding us back.
Oh, good. Yay.
yeah. And I do think that there's something about astral travel and seeing being able to connect with others. Kind of like, I don't know if you guys have listened to the telepathy tapes, but we are
Yes.
definitely moving into that. Those who are working in the higher vibration. I will say that um, there's this connection. I'll give you one example this morning, even. Last week, I had a sense to call somebody. I really need to call her. I really need to call this person. Haven't talked to her in probably a year, a little over a year. It was an old coworker. And this morning she texted me out of the blue, "Hey, I'm I'm living in your community now. Do you want to go for a walk?" And I
Oh,
said, "Yes,
wow.
tomorrow. Let's
Yeah.
go for a walk." But it
Yeah.
was like that sense, that
Hmm.
connection is going to be ever stronger. I think this is what we're building toward, is not needing to necessarily speak the words to people, but just know that we're connected
So
And
and
oh,
feeling that.
go ahead.
that happened to me actually just today too.
Yeah.
I was thinking about a friend that I hadn't talked to for a while. It's like, oh, I really need to call her. And she texted me this morning, "You want to
Yes.
do lunch?" It's like,
Yeah.
yes.
I
So
do.
I want to ask about a dream that I had
Hmm.
recently.
Okay.
Um, well,
Let me
I
get my notepad.
yeah. Well, the first one, and I hadn't been remembering dreams. So when I do, it's like, oh, cool, I had one. And one was, this was kind of weird. It was in a backyard, but it wasn't, of course, my backyard. And we had like a little stream running through it. And the stream was coming from my neighbor's yard. And
Hmm.
in this stream, there was a little bridge, those little bridges that you see
Hmm.
over streams. And all of a sudden, like two or three huge fish, and I didn't know what they looked like. They almost looked like catfish, but
Mm.
because they were like low with wide mouths. But one of the catfish was like pearlescent,
Mm.
like pink, and it had fins like an angelfish. And that one catfish or whatever he was jumped up over. He was like jumping up over the bridge. And they
Mm.
were swimming towards me, but they were huge fish. I looked
Yeah.
up the meaning of fish,
Uh-huh.
and supposedly it's good.
Yeah.
But so there was that one. There was
Mhm.
another one where I had a stressed, a lot of my dreams have to do with, I know I need to go somewhere, but I can't do it.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
something is holding me up, like like I'm packing, but I can't pack. Something's holding me up for packing. And so I had that dream. And so it's like I've had that dream many, many times where I just can't get anywhere. And I know it's got something to do with taking my baggage with me.
Yes. I was going to say,
I
go
know
back
that.
in and just leave the baggage. Well, I can go. I'm free to go.
But the last dream I had a few days ago was like, okay, I'm ready to go. I was actually going to walk out that door and get in my car and go on this freeway that I was kind of, nervous about going on. So I was actually going to do that. Nothing was holding me back. And so that was new.
Yeah. So
So
whatever you've moved through what you needed to move
I
through.
hope so.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. It's like moving along.
Yeah, because
just a stream of your heart.
I have a lot of those stress dreams where I'm being held back, where I can't get packed. I know I've got to pack. I know I've got to leave, but I can't leave because something's always holding me back. So maybe it was the planets going direct. I don't know.
Could be, yeah. It's like, okay, and look at what's holding me back. I'm trying to pack clothes that I don't really need. So I'm trying to pack things that from my past that I want to hold on to, but I don't need to hold on to it anymore. So
Yeah.
So moving into that, just okay, that you are actually traveling, that's beautiful. And that's what I was going to mention to Dawna too, is that traveling is always good. It's just like part of your life journey, everything that you go through. And it's like just, you know, what I'm healing, what I'm working on healing even. I mean, it's not only what you need to heal. Sometimes it's like I'm healing this. I can leave that behind now. It's like going to the bathroom, in your dream, there are some dreams where you're going to the bathroom and the bathroom, yeah, it can be filthy and it could be, or I'm not ready. I worked with someone the other day who she kept almost going to the bathroom and then deciding that she needed to do something else. And then she would go and do something else and go, oh yeah, I needed to go to the bathroom. And she would never go to the bathroom in her dream. It's like, no, you need to eliminate something.
Yeah.
So
A
then we
lot of my
worked through.
dreams, a lot of my dreams is looking for a bathroom.
Looking for
Yes.
it. Yes.
Looking for
Looking for a bathroom.
Yes.
What do I
Yeah.
need to eliminate right now? Yeah.
And a lot of times
Definitely.
then I wake up and actually go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
well.
I don't have to dream about going. I thought it was
Yeah.
just that I had to go. I never thought of
Yeah.
that. That's really
Yeah.
good. I
You want
like
to look
that.
at the other symbols. Everything will come in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I've had toilets that looked like it had melted cheese on the top.
Oh
So
my
I can go in it.
Yeah.
Like French onion soup, and they have that melted cheese on the top. That's what my toilet looked like.
Yeah. Yeah. Avoid dairy, please.
Dairy.
So that's, yeah.
And so I
But I
do
was gonna
avoid
tell
dairy, actually.
yeah. Yeah. And sometimes it's just a reminder, or maybe you had a little something that it didn't realize that had some
Pizza.
cream in it, or yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
I know a lot of my dreams too. I have a lot of white in my dreams. It's like I don't drink milk, but I occasionally will have some. I say, well, the cheese is really dry. It's not really cheese, but it's really dry. Well, no, don't eat cheese.
I'm
But I
so
was going to tell you
lucky
about
that
your,
doesn't bother me at all. I love
yeah,
cheese, milk, ice cream, yogurt, cottage cheese, all that. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. Some people can handle it. Other
Yeah.
people, it's like, mm-mm.
Yeah, but gluten, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I have a hard time with. I can have some gluten. I just have to be careful.
Yeah.
That's how my dreams come. Is I don't eat too much. Um, but I was going to tell you with your first dream, it's backyard is all about your past, things in your past. But this is
Oh.
a spiritual dream, so it's it's letting you know that from your past you brought into you are working on healing that spiritual connection. The little bridge over the stream is about your ability to channel and your spiritual connection. So that's actually a very positive dream. It's just, they really want you to focus on healing that connection again that you brought with you from
Well,
your history, from your
I
past.
do hope going on this trip will really help me find a stronger connection.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it will. I mean, it already has, because before we go, we're going to go to Karchner Caves also and connect there first, just to connect to the land and and see one of our fellow friends. One of our friends came up with the idea. She just said, before you go, Vicki, you need to activate in a cave. I don't know where it came from. That's all I heard. So
Yeah.
I went, okay. So
Yeah.
so if I look at that, like when we started, you were one of the first maybe 10, not even 10, 5, that were on our podcast. And now here we are, we're over almost to 70, I think. and we're going on these trips with spiritual, connections and that sort of thing. So, I know that all of this is planned and it's right and all that, and I just have to remember that. But so what does the fish
Yeah.
mean in your dream?
Spiritual connection. It's
Oh, I
spirituality.
wonder
Yeah.
because that's where
Opalescent is,
they
yeah,
got the
it's
symbol. Yeah.
yeah, you have a strong spiritual intuitive
Yes, it
intuition
does.
and yeah, so
So,
wisdom.
well, is it, are we done with that? I don't want to interrupt and
No,
jump
but I
right
was
in
going
with,
to tell
well,
you
let
to
me
let
tell
go
you.
of outcomes. When you travel, let go of all outcomes. Any kind of thing that you think you're going to do.
Mhm.
So when I went to Scotland, the one thing I wanted to do was to go to Isle of Skye. And there's a stream there, and I just put my hands in the stream because it's just got a very strong spiritual, it's just a very spiritual place. The day we were going to go, there was probably the worst storm they had had in years.
Oh,
All the power lines were down. We could not get to the Isle of Skye. And my husband was like, we are going to the Isle of Skye. However, we're going to get to that coast. We're going to drive. We did it. We got through, but I didn't get to put my hands in the
Aw,
stream. But you know what? It was an exercise in enjoying the journey and in just
love it.
following. We ended up in a little cafe, the only place that had power. They could serve food because they had a generator hooked to a camp, like a kitchen outside. So the only thing that was there was French fries and fish and chips. And we had a great evening talking to people. It was lively. It was packed because it was the only place with power.
yeah. Oh, wow.
Like,
Yeah,
but it was fun. It was just like, okay, just enjoy the journey, whatever it is, just
just enjoy
enjoy
it.
where you are.
Yeah.
Well, and
So,
part of this journey also is proving to myself that I can do things by myself. I am empowered to do what I want to do. And
yes.
that itself, I know, is a big hurdle for me to get over.
Oh, that's awesome.
That
Yeah.
is awesome. That
Yeah.
and it's a lot to, I mean, the
Mhm.
whole just planning it is a lot. Way. But the traveling, I've always done that, even just in my meditation,
Mhm.
since I was really little, and I've had companions that I'm, flying around with and stuff, and I don't know, if they're angels, aliens, or just, just my friends that I had at the time when I was little.
Mhm.
But I've been to all the planets, and then just recently, since the Three Eye Atlas came, I have gone out further, and Robert Edward Grant said that today, that he, since Three Eye Atlas came, this happened, and he went way out to where, and you get to a point where there's nothing,
Yeah.
and it brings you right back into yourself. And
Yes.
it was a huge thing that happened, and it was kind of started with a dream that I
Mhm.
had about astral traveling, and it was a day that I could meditate, and I went into meditation, and it continued from the dream, which that never has happened before. It's like once a dream is gone, for me it's gone, and
Yeah.
so I went really far. But anyway, the dream that I had, and it's still vividly with me. I might already know the answer. I don't know, but um, it was had to do with kind of the flash of light that Anne has been talking about, and it was in connection with the pyramids. This was long before I even heard of the going to, because this was January 17th. I don't know if that
Mm.
has any alignment with it or not, but anyway, but there was some sort of light emanating from all of sacred places all around the world. So I was like back here watching it, and then I was at the Great Pyramid, and we were outside though, and everyone was kind of singing their song, like they're humming, and it was like this great energy thing happened. I don't really know what it is, but I don't know if it has to do with our voice or geometry or numbers or what it was. But
My goodness.
everyone was doing that all over the Earth's surface. And I was told that this would be what would open all of the sacred places, and to accept and join in connecting to the central sun, all because I'm a shaman. That's why I say central sun, all at the same time. And then
Mhm.
Kelly Kolodny has talked about a bunch of people getting together and doing, so it's more to do with community and that sort of thing. And that's another thing I've dreamt about, is a lot more people being together and being
Yes.
happy.
Yes. Yeah. It's almost like the way I was when I was channeling on it the other day. It's like this thread of we're all connected um through a thread, and it's in harmony. I love that. It's because it is our voices that help connect when we're all that's I see that's how angels work. Well, they're very they work through harmonies. And
Yeah.
I don't have you ever experienced was driving in the car once, and all of a sudden I heard violins. Nothing was playing. It's completely silent, but I heard a symphony that was like a violins. And to me, I just went, wow, thank you for surrounding me with letting me know that you're here through harmony, through because that's a beautiful way to connect and receive, and it's so uplifting.
It is.
So that
Yeah.
millions of voices all over the earth are humming together. Could you imagine?
And we're all meditating together at different times, and saying and thinking the same things. So I think that's helping a lot too, but we're not humming yet.
Yeah, I think there is a hum. I think there is. It's
Sorry.
a spiritual humming that's happening, and it's
So
raising us up.
the angelic, it kind of sounds like to me what I would think of as angels humming when you said violins. I've heard it when I've come out of dreams, and I've heard it, kind of playing around me, and I think, is that the fan? And without moving, because if I moved, I wouldn't hear it the same.
Yeah,
And so I'd turn the fan off and it would still be there. And so I just,
yeah,
like you said, just sit in it. I can't
just
imagine while you're driving, I'd want to pull over
yeah,
and feel it,
yeah,
So
yeah.
it
I
has
was
happened a
feeling it,
few
and it's
times.
just like, wow.
Yeah, it is.
Wow,
Wow.
thank you. Yeah, it's but I think we're getting to that point where our ears are opening and our eyes are opening and our voices are opening,
Hmm.
and just allowing that for us, for those who are moving into a higher vibration, it will uplift others too. Um, so yeah, and that's in dreams. Singing is I don't know if you've ever had singing, like you're singing in a dream,
Mhm.
or you're watching a band, or someone is playing a beautiful guitar piece and there it's you know a famous person is playing a beautiful guitar piece. um that's all your spiritual connection. It's your channeling gift. um
And
so
piano. I play the piano in dreams too. And
yeah.
I haven't played. I pick things out. Thank God Vicki gave me her keyboard, so I still have something I can play on. But
Uh-huh.
mostly I think of it while I'm working and I'm typing. And I know that, oh, I can type really well because I played piano all those years. But and also Anne had mentioned that she heard ferns once and she hasn't heard it again. I hear that every day. I hear that with my plants. Even the lettuce bottoms that I'm regrowing, I'll leave the room as I'm going to bed. Does anybody need any water? Sometimes I hear it, a high pitched something, but sometimes it's
Hmm.
just a pull. Yeah, somebody
Hmm.
needs water. And I go through and look at them all and say, no, they don't need. And then it's like, oh, this one over here, so I know
Yeah.
I'm actually hearing that. And
Yeah.
it is that same kind of, but it's a higher pitch and it doesn't have
Hmm.
as much harmony. It's more like two or three different, maybe within a third. Whereas the angelic, it's like, you can't even explain it. It's like, yeah, it's just like 4 octaves of
Yeah.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. With my pet and I can hear my dog talk to me. Um, but he's not, I can't I just know, oh, you need this. Oh, is your eye bothering you? Or whatever. He'll come up and just kind of look at me and I can talk to my dog. But the
Yeah.
plants I just feel pulls, but I haven't had any kind of music. I wish I did.
Oh, ferns. Go near ferns. That was my
Yeah.
first, and that was Anne's first.
Yeah.
They
I
are
think she
they're the
just went
most.
and bought a bunch of ferns. Oh,
She
that's
had
when she was hearing it,
she
I think, in the
yeah,
car.
she
Yeah.
bought a
Yeah.
bunch and they were in the car,
Hmm.
and she even had the radio on and she heard it and she turned the radio off like, what is that? And then
These
yeah,
ferns are
so
singing.
yeah, the ferns, and that's
Yeah.
where I first heard it was ferns and pine trees.
Hmm.
Or well, I heard it when I was a kid, I from
Yeah.
all plants, but
Yeah.
when I relearned what I'm hearing, as an adult, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but
And it's not, I think this is so much where we are and where we're heading to. I when she was relaying that story, I thought of that because I think it's a Bible verse. I don't know, but I know it's from Jesus Christ Superstar. The rocks and stones themselves will start to sing.
yes,
And so, I mean, we'll hear everything because it's all this raised vibration. Everything is a
yeah,
beautiful part of creation, and everything has its harmony and
and it
its
all will be
own
singing
piece.
together.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So yeah, go ahead.
I was just wanting to ask you about if you'd seen any differences in the dreams this year that are coming through. And for like, you were talking about younger people versus older people.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've had several younger people actually seeking out um, what do I need to do? One young person came to me and she's probably in her late 20s and because she knows I do dreams, and so she was saying, what do I keep having this recurring dream? So I brought her, well, you it's now time for you to heal the issues that you had with your mom, from birth. And she ended up telling me her whole story of what it was like to be born from this person who was very caring, but she was a neonatal nurse and she didn't have time for her own daughter because she had to get back to work. And I said, okay, yep, this is what you get to heal right now. So if you're willing, then I can help you through this process. And so she has started going through her own healing through cutting ties, is the way she chose to do it. But here she is only in her late 20s. And I go, oh, that is so awesome because it usually takes, at least women, it seems to take us going through menopause to
Yeah.
realize that we need to change, that something's got to be different with
Yeah.
us. So yeah, so that it's a lot of younger people are coming to me with dreams, and it probably is because I work part-time out in I say the real world. I work
Yeah.
I work part-time with with the public, and so um, but they come with, oh, I had this weird dream, even if they didn't really know that I do dream work, although most people know now. But it's like um, they'll just mention it, and I go, this this is let's look at what happened at this age, at age something happened around age 3. Oh my gosh. And then once you address it, once you say, yes, that is like a first step in healing when you confess, when
Yeah.
you cop to, yeah, that was an issue when I was young.
Yeah.
Even saying that's the first step on your healing journey because you can never go back. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Right.
So, and then you just know, okay, that's something I got to heal. So that's really been so beautiful. Um, but yeah, and then what we were talking about earlier, placing oneself as the main character in your dream. You're the one who's playing the instrument. You're the one who's on the stage, being asked to join the band, and or being the lead speaker, that and not sure what you're going to say, but you're given the microphone and you just start speaking in your dream. And it's like, that is really cool, and it focuses on what your gifts are, and this is who you are, and this is what you came here to do. That's so amazing. And that's also a fearful thing usually when you're being asked
Very much so.
to, yeah. And so working through, what are those fears, what are those things that you're still blocking. But because we're moving into a higher vibration, it's almost like it's easier to address these things, because you want to. You can feel that there's something different, and it's almost like I don't want to be where I was 2 months ago. I want to be where things are going. And when you feel so much confusion on the earth plane, we're going through a lot of everything from nature to politics. It's like it's overwhelming, and it's time to just, okay, where do I find peace within myself? Who am I, and what can I give that would be positive to my neighbor, to the person next to me? What can I project that would be a healing for myself and for someone else? So that's kind of, I think, where we are and where we're headed. So, and that's what I've noticed with younger people, is just that openness to, okay, what can I do, that's not out doing. It's like, what work can I do within myself so that I feel I have the freedom and I have that joy,
Right.
so that I can move forward.
Because of all that's going, a lot of that is because of what's going on in the world. But I think some of it is just the energies from the
It's just
sun, and
energies.
yeah, and
Yeah.
coming up from the earth. It's
Yeah.
all, it's making everybody, like it used to be. I don't know how long ago, when, like you're talking about during menopause, for me, that was like, I don't know, 20 years ago. It wasn't that long ago, 10 years ago, whatever it was. It
For me,
was
it
a
was a
long,
long time ago.
it seems like it was a long time, 15 years ago. Anyway, but at that time, it was difficult to go through that. Now people, because we all did that, it's easier, that the notion to heal is easier for others to open up. And even if they didn't hear somebody else healing that way, it's, the notions are coming to people easier, I think. And
Yeah.
they're definitely believing that dreams is a way. I mean, natives have known that forever, that
Right.
dreams have
Yeah.
been helpful. And
Yeah.
I grew up with that. My dad always said your dreams are important.
Mhm.
So lucky for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
A lot of people. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
no,
Vicki.
no one ever really talked about dreams or anything to me. Of course, I think that was part of my upbringing too, because my mother was a OBGYN nurse who loved the babies.
Uh-huh.
And so when you
Yeah.
said that, it's like, wow, maybe she didn't have the time for me that she should have had.
Yeah.
I did feel like
Yeah.
I raised myself.
Loved other people's babies. Yep.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that, and I think that's where I've, some people have even like, have been raised like in a very religious upbringing, and they were told that dreams are just that crazy part. Don't look at those. Um, I've had a couple of people, and I go, well, you know what? It's just really your subconscious. Um,
Hmm.
and it's what
Coming
what
from
do you
you.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's your own feelings, and it's coming from you, and it's feelings that you need to address, things that you need to
Yeah.
address. And it's even that, I have noticed, like this one person who's grew up a staunch Catholic, but she realized that her dreams did mean something. And it's not, um, it is spiritual. It is not something crazy that you need to look at. So I found verses in the Bible that talk about how dreams are important
Oh, good.
for her,
Good.
because
Yeah.
she really needed to address it. And it was like, oh, oh, this, yes. And just, it doesn't matter like our backgrounds, whether we came, because I came from a background where my parents were very, I grew up kind of a hippie area in Seattle. And it was, during that time, early 70s. And
Mhm.
so my dad was really into horoscopes and I Ching, and my mom was just really open to whatever, even though we went to a very progressive church that was lots of, I don't remember the sermons, I just remember lots of dancing on stage and things like that. So lots of music. And so it's my mind just went whoo, whatever I was thinking. Anyway, oh, but it doesn't matter your background. Um, when it comes to you, when you are ready to do the work, it's just going to come up within you, and you're going to be seeking those questions. You're going to be seeking answers to those questions. And a lot of times dreams are the first thing that come. It's like, oh man, I keep having this recurring dream. I don't know why I'm having this dream and it's driving me nuts. Well, okay. And then it's like the opening door, just opening that door to that first step in your healing journey. Whatever the next steps are, if whatever it is, if you start like a meditation for yourself, if you, whatever it is, it's like the dreams are like the ones, that's how your guides, your higher self can call to you.
Yeah.
You're on a schedule here. You signed a contract, and so, and let's look at that contract again, because it's something that you were decided, or you have said you were going to heal, and it's, you have some gifts that you just said you were going to use. So
Right.
let's look at that, and
So,
let's,
and because you have to wake up now and do it now
yes.
because everything is changing, and
Mhm.
and then you'll see things in a different light. I
Exactly.
haven't
Yeah.
had a lot of recurring dreams. The only dreams that I've had like that were a family that I was close with when I was younger. I was a babysitter and cleaned their house, and that's what I was very young, but in my 20s. And but long story short, I felt that I was closer. I found out that I was closer to them than they, I thought more of them than they did of me. And
Mm,
it was the first time where I just went, I'm done, and backed away. But
mm,
after that was when the dreams kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And so
mhm.
I kept saying, okay, I forgive them. I forgive me. I got to move on. And I kept saying that I would wake up. Why do they keep showing up in my dreams? And finally, just a few months ago, only one of them showed up, and she said something like, "Well, I just wanted to tell you what a great job you did, and I really thank you." And she walked away. So I was like, "So whatever. I don't know what I had to work on, but they haven't been, now they probably will come back, but they haven't been back." And
Sometimes, yeah, I would say sometimes in our waking life, um, there are things that in our dreams, it comes out in waking life, things that we need to work on. One is feelings of being rejected, or um, people pushing you away in real life. And and it makes you go, what did I do? Well, you didn't do anything, but it is something that you need to, it was a feeling that you had that keeps, something that happened maybe when you were very young, and it just keeps happening until it can get healed. Um,
right, right.
and then for her to say that in the dream, it's like, okay, you've healed an aspect of that. Um,
I
that
hope so.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if
And
it
I
comes
mean,
back again, then you go, okay, I'm still having these feelings of not, of rejection, of not being wanted. Um,
yeah, oh yeah, that could be because I mean, my mom loved me when I was born, but during pregnancy, she had my it would be her mother-in-law. They had, or it would be her father-in-law was one of seven boys,
mm,
and she had three boys, and then she got pregnant with me and was like, and actually my brother before me was one that she wasn't expecting either. So here's another one, and then she's like, I don't want to have a hockey team, and she's and we talked a lot about that before she passed, and we totally forgive each other for all of it because she said, well, as soon as I had you, I was And I was like, oh yeah, just because I was a girl, it was okay, And she said,
Mhm.
it probably would have been okay, otherwise, but yeah, probably,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
And
so it could be
that's the
that,
kind of thing that, yeah, that we work on with dreams is a lot of times those things that, because we, totally, like with my mother, I didn't know that I needed to forgive my mom because she
right?
was such a sweet person. And when, but I did feel like I needed to take care of her all the time. Um, and I was going, where is this coming from? Where I feel like if I don't take care of her, she is not going to love me the way I need to be loved. Um, and then, but realizing it's not the adult me, it's not, who I was as a grown up. Even after I went through some of the healing, it was not me as the grown up rationalizing. It is that little child that felt unwelcome into this
Yeah,
So,
life.
so you thought if you could take care of her, she would love you more
Hmm.
or something.
Hmm. That
hmm,
well, that I would have purpose,
Yeah.
because she didn't. There was not. Um, it's like, why am I having another child? Which makes the child in the womb go, why am I being born?
uh,
So, because you feel all the feelings from the parent are coming into that little newborn, that little baby in the womb.
mhm.
So that's the part that it's like those very early feelings. Those are the things that affect you through your life until you can heal them. And they're going to come back in different aspects of your dreams until they're healed.
Yeah, and that's something that I think so many people aren't even aware of.
Yeah.
I think more of us who are looking into our own person,
Yeah.
understand, but whatever happens in your body isn't separate from you.
Right.
It
Right.
is you,
Yes.
and whatever thoughts and feelings you have is going to affect, if you're pregnant, going to affect your baby.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's something that a lot of people don't even think about
Yeah.
because
They
they don't
just think
connect
it's like
to.
this separate little thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But
and
yeah.
going through my shamanic training was when I, could let those things go. And I thought that I had let it all go, but that's the last thing I think that I hope that was following me. And I think it's healed. But also, not just talking to my mother and, healing that, you have to heal it within you. And so obviously there were vestiges of that. But
Mhm.
what was a big step for me was healing ancestral, uh,
Yes.
because that's where her issues of guilt and all that came from. And
Yes.
thank God she said, I never, people now talk about that they can, will I keep this child or not? She didn't feel she had a choice. It was like
Right.
there wasn't a choice.
There
She
wasn't a
said,
choice back
even if
then.
there was, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a choice for her to do
Right.
that. So it wasn't an answer. But ancestrally, there was a lot of that in
Mhm.
on her side of the family that I had to
Yeah.
expel, I guess would be a good word.
Yeah. And a lot of times that's why we agreed to come back into this life. It's
Mm.
because we had other things that we didn't really get to heal or we didn't get to experience, mostly heal with other lives. And we brought it with us. We had the baggage, like you were saying, Vicki. It's like, what am I trying to pack to bring with me? Well, how do we release those old wounds and the old baggage that we brought with us into this life? This is the time that we're healing.
Yeah,
So,
and that is
it's your
one of,
time.
yeah,
Yes,
that
it's
is
your
one of the,
time.
yeah,
That's right.
that is one of the things that I realized was that we are all here at this time for a reason. And
Yes.
we are at the end of a cycle, at a
Yeah.
huge cycle going into a new cycle.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
each one of us have lineages within us that if we heal ourselves, we heal our lineage with it.
Hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, because a
Because
For
that
lot
is
of
here
something
in this
that they
life.
weren't able to do
Right.
that's
themselves.
right. And we
Yeah.
we even just seeing that we can do that has
Yeah.
probably healed a lot.
Mhm.
But yeah, but and
Yeah.
and actually looking back at your own physical lineage, I also look at my spiritual lineage, and once I saw that, that's like this little part of me is this is fun and well, and frustrating at times, but it's all,
That's all. We're supposed to feel it all.
it's
So
yeah,
that's
but it's all just a flash compared
yeah,
to, what our
our
whole
history.
self is. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
wow, that is
Yeah.
so exciting.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how awesome that we can be here, that we chose to come at this time.
Yeah.
And so even realizing that, for people who haven't gone on to found their healing journey yet, or
Mhm.
understanding that they chose to be here at this time, and even question that why, what was the reason that I signed all of those agreements with my parents for them to be who they are, for my
Right.
siblings, for them to take on that role, so that I could discover who I'm supposed to be, and what do I need to heal? What do I need to feel in this life?
I
So,
I think it's wonderful to actually try and explain that to people because I grew up with that. You you
mhm,
you chose us. My parents would say, and that was another thing that got my mom over it fast was when she realized, yeah, she chose us, and
mhm,
and there's a whole lot that goes with that too.
yeah,
But we all chose each other, and then you can even go further and say how it's all part of your soul team, your
yes,
spiritual team,
right,
and we're all, so we decided to be here. But I think that's a big thing for people to
hmm,
try and unpack and understand
yeah,
because it's very woo woo. It's like, how I don't remember doing that. How could I know that I really did that? And
right,
trying to explain that to people.
hmm,
Is I don't know. Is there something in a dream that we could say, have you ever dreamt of this?
yeah.
This that means that
You sign the contract. Yeah, if you've
yeah.
got documents in a dream, someone's handing you
Ah.
the your documents or paperwork. It's like, yeah, you have this contract that you signed. You're signing a contract in your dream. That's like saying things that
Oh,
I agreed to. And usually there will be other things that will within the dream that say, okay, I agreed to use this gift. I agreed to develop my um, channeling or my hands-on healing gift. If I'm watching my hand sign, is I have a hands-on healing gift that I agreed to use in this
oh
life. So
wow.
things
Oh,
like that.
that's
There are
good to
there are
know. Yeah.
yeah, different it depends on the dream. I
Right.
was going to say just real quick. So my mother died about 5 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And about 2 years ago, or 2 years after she died, I had this dream that I was walking toward a ferry dock, and my mom is helping load people of all ages onto the ferry, walk on ferry. And she's just glowing. She is like, her eyes are shining and she's shining. And I said, Mom, how are you? And she goes, I'm doing great, but I don't have time to talk because I have to help these people onto the ferry. I woke
Oh
up, I was like,
wow.
oh,
That's
my
I
mom is
thought I
still
had
helping people.
healed that.
Yeah, well, no, it was a beautiful moment of realizing that my mom is still helping people. Her job on the other side is to help ferry people from
Oh,
one side to the other.
okay.
Um, And so it was, but because she was, and her eyes were watering, and her eyes were so, my mother had very clear blue eyes. Her eyes were so clear blue, and just everything was shining on her. And I just had this overwhelming, I didn't have that sense of separation from her.
Okay.
I had that sense of, wow, she still is fulfilling her purpose. It's just on the other side. And it's like, because that's who she was. My mother was one who, her friends, when she had two very close friends, but even people that she didn't know so well, when they were dying, she would sit with them. And that was her in her real life. That was how she was. She was just this kind of person who could handle that. And they
Right.
said, "Oh, Beth can handle it. She can sit with me while I'm dying. My husband can't. I don't want any other friends. I just want Beth to sit with me. That's, and so, but I didn't remember any of that. It's like I didn't see that part of my mom because I was looking at it from a child perspective,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
But on the other side, after she passed, it was like, oh, this is who, oh, what a beautiful soul. And that's what I felt, overwhelmed with the beauty of her soul's purpose, and that she still has this purpose on the other side. And that's, we are still that way. It's like, don't ever think that your dreams are going to change who you are at the end of your days. You're on your last, you're in your on your deathbed, your dreams are still going to say, you are a beautiful soul, you have these gifts, and you can still say the words, and you can still fulfill your gifts. It's that's
Oh,
who we
right,
are
until
to
your
our
dying moments. Yeah,
till
that's
you're
right.
dying. And then even on the other, that's what I felt like with my mom. Even
Yeah.
on the other side, it's like that's your purpose. That's who her soul purpose
Well,
for
and I
her soul
imagine that
was.
could heal something in you too, to know that she wasn't ignoring you. This is what her gift is.
Yeah.
So
And
when she
yeah,
was doing that in real life, it wasn't that she, wasn't didn't care about you. She was just following what she was
she
here
was
to
following
do.
the contract she signed.
Right, right.
That
How
Adrienne
neat.
has to feel this so that she can go through her healing journey. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, so just realize that we are all these beautiful souls. We all have a soul purpose, and that's what dreams do, is they just help you find who you are, reconnect with who you are, who you were on the other side, and bring it to earth. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that's so amazing.
That is
So
amazing. That is so
yeah,
cool. And it would be so neat to watch. I haven't seen anybody really wake up to that and say, I just found out that whatever. I haven't had anybody do that yet. I want to see that
yeah,
because it would be so exciting. I mean, I imagine they would be all lit up and I
yeah,
just realized actually probably it'd be more like, well, somebody told me.
yeah.
I don't know if I
I've
believe it
had
or
people,
not, but
yeah, I have gone as I'm going through healing with other people while I'm doing dream work with them. It's because it's true within them, it matches, and they go, yes.
right,
And you still have those fears, you still have, because we're still, I don't know if I can, some people, it's telling them you don't have to leave your job, but you have these gifts, and you need to use your gifts, or because that's who you are. It's not your day-to-day, 9 to 5 job.
right,
Or yeah, you got to leave your job. You're meant to do this as a job, as work for others.
right,
And especially people with hands-on healing, it's like, oh, but I don't know what that means. So stepping them through their fears so that they can fulfill their purpose. But their purpose becomes very clear. It's just then, because it matches when you say, this is who you are.
right.
Oh, yes. Yes, it feels right. And
Yeah,
then it's just a matter of, okay, now let's overcome those fears. Let's
Mhm.
address those fears that is
right.
are keeping you from
And then maybe
being who you
seeing
are.
where your journey leads,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
when you're in your 9 to 5, you
Hmm.
don't think of anything else.
Right.
You are stuck in the matrix,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
when you start actually delving into who you are and
Hmm.
what gifts you possess and what you actually can do for others,
Hmm.
it just kind of opens up doors
Yes.
that you
Yeah,
didn't
Yes, it
even know
does.
were there.
Yep. Yeah.
yeah.
Even, yep, just acknowledging it
Mhm.
within yourself, then opportunities come up. And you still have that choice. Am I going to follow that nudge? Should I say something? And once you get that, it's like, yeah, say something. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to open my mouth and speak it.
And yeah, yeah.
And then, but if you don't, you'll be given another opportunity
That's a nice way of
because you,
saying it
yeah,
because usually
Yeah.
the next opportunity is more like a smack in the head.
yeah, yeah, it
And
becomes
if you
stronger and
don't get
stronger.
that, it's, a bus almost hit you. What is that going to tell you?
Yeah.
That's the
And
one.
that is with dreams too. If you don't acknowledge your dreams, they become nightmares. and
Right.
and usually it's of someone or something chasing you. What's chasing you? Let's stop and turn around and look and see what needs to be addressed because you've been running from an aspect of yourself. So
Well, when I was 5, that's the only other recurring dream I've had is a bear chasing me down the sidewalk in front of our house. And I told my dad, and he said that. He said, "Okay, so you just imagine," and he's like, "I have you in my arms. You're safe. Just imagine the bear is chasing you, and stop and turn around and look at it." And I was like, "No, I can't do that." And he said, "Turn around and look, and what does it do?" And it started to smile and dance. So
yeah.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but that's why I see that thing on Facebook every so often, that bear dancing. That was my
Uh-huh.
dream.
Finding joy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
yeah,
and
find your joy.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so
Bears
I don't
usually mean dietary too. It means
Oh,
a,
okay.
bears mean a gut issue usually. Um,
Huh.
but 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 dancing is like what is causing the gut issue. It's not being joyful in
And then
uh,
I became joyful from, I
yeah,
mean, not every moment of my life, but
yeah,
yeah, I do
yeah.
still have a lot of my
It's
mom's
asking you
anxiety.
to
But
lighten up. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
that's
Oh, I totally hear that. A lot
yeah.
of people tell me that. Oh, you're so funny. Yeah, I'm funny, but I don't necessarily lighten up. Yeah, that's true. I got to do that more often. But then the other part of what you were saying is that I've heard people saying there are many people that are waiting to come to Earth. So you really need to do what is being told, what's coming to you, what you're, you really need to use your gifts.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that we want you to feel guilty if you don't. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying because that's not going to help anything.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
people are
No.
still looking for their gifts too, and
Yeah,
they
Yes.
don't know
Exactly.
what they are.
that's
Right.
right. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what we're all here for, to try and help people do
Exactly.
that. So yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
wow, that was so cool. I knew this
Yeah.
was going to be exciting. This was really
Yeah.
great. I'm so glad that you could come back. And
Yeah. I'm so
yeah,
glad that you had me. It was fun. It's
yay.
always fun. You guys are so easy to talk to.
Oh, good.
Thank you for giving us some more of your time. I
Yeah,
really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And
Thank
so
you
I
for
guess
having me.
the last thing we would say is to, journal your dreams, listen to your dreams, watch your dreams. And
Hmm.
if you don't understand, you can give Adrienne and send Adrienne an email. I think we have
Yeah.
your Yeah, we have that.
Yeah.
We'll put that on there too. So
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be
yeah,
awesome.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
So it's your time to dream.
It's your
Yes.
time to journal your
Definitely. To
dream and
To
give
discover who
it
journal.
your
It,
soul purpose.
to
Yeah.
journal your dream so you find your
yes.
soul purpose. Okay, that's too long.
Okay.
That won't fit in the title, but that's good.
That's okay.
I like that though. That's awesome. Okay, so thank you everybody for
Thank
hanging
you.
around, and thank you, Adrienne, so much. Thank you,
Yeah.
Vicki.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Everybody, take care and love to
You
all.
too. Love you too. Thank you for
Bye.
having me.
Bye.
Bye.